This is 5 Minute Feng Shui, podcast episode 98, How to Grant Your Wish. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello, my friend. I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon, and I'm coming to you to talk about how to make something happen. You know, a lot of people come to Feng Shui, and they have something that they want to occur. Maybe they want their house to sell, or they want to buy a house, or they want to meet someone. Maybe they want to get a divorce. There's all kinds of things that you can want to happen in your life that you want some kind of Feng Shui magic. I don't like to talk about magic a lot or say that Feng Shui is magic. It really is about moving energy. It's about making subtle shifts in energy and that can create like a ripple, a little wave in your life that can help you manifest and create what you want. Sometimes that's just something really simple. But before we get started into that, I want to talk to you about this podcast. It has been such a fun thing to do for me. I love it. I love hearing from you. It's been wonderful to get your emails and your positive notes and your wonderful reviews. So thank you so much. And as always, please send me an email. I'd love to hear from you, Katie@redlotusletter.com. And I write back. A lot of times I write back. I do as much as I am humanly possible to do. We get a lot of requests and a lot of emails that come in, and so I read them all, but I'm not always able to answer them all. But if it's a nice comment, you can bet I will definitely respond to that, because I really appreciate you taking the time to write me. But let's talk about this episode, and I want to let you know it's a special episode to me. Today is the 98th episode, as you may have heard at the beginning of the podcast when it started, and the next one is 99, and the next one after that is 100. These are all really great numbers: 98, 99, and 100. Basically, 10 represents the number of completion. So 100 is just like a 10 with an extra 0. So I've got something very special planned for you. And the other thing is, you're only going to hear about it here on this podcast. I'm not going to be talking about it or putting the information up on my webpage. You're going to have to listen about where you need to go, because I have a special gift for you. Because this is number 98 and then 99 and 100, and they're wonderful numbers, and I think very auspicious. And because, hey, I made it to 100 episodes. I'm really proud of that. I'm excited about it. And it's all because of you. So thank you so much. And because I thank you, I have a gift for you. And I'm going to be announcing that in episode 100. And I think you'll want to listen in, so you'll get instructions on exactly how you can get that gift. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. It's going to be my top 100 Feng Shui secrets, and it's a free ebook that you're getting just for being a listener on 5 Minute Feng Shui. So thank you, and that's my gift to you as my thank you for that. But you're going to have to listen into that episode, and I'll give you just instructions on where to go to get that. Now, let's talk about today's episode. We are talking today about how to make something happen. Now, a lot of folks have, like I said at the beginning, something that they want to happen. And the thing that comes to mind really quickly for me and very common is to sell a house. In fact, that was how I became interested in feng shui. I had heard that you could use this sort of decorative technique to make things happen, and I just thought, that's just hokum. and it was something that you have to appreciate, to be in that situation where you have a house it's perfect. And our house had been freshly renovated. My husband had a job in another state, and I needed to get this house sold. And it was crickets, not in the house, but outside. And you could hear just like this silence in this house. And my husband had already moved away. And so we were living apart. I'm in Texas, he's in North Carolina. And I thought, we've got to do something to get this house moving. And I remember hearing about feng shui when I lived overseas and I got to travel through Asia, and I had heard about feng shui, which at the time my Western mind was like, there's no way. Come on, you're going to move stuff around in your house and then make something happen. Come on, really? I'm not falling for that. Anyhow, but when you get to the point where your husband's in another state and you're in one state, and you have a house that you need to get sold so you can get on with your life, I was pretty much ready to, sacrifice chickens in the backyard. I mean, step into my pentagram. I just wanted to get something going, and we hadn't had any looks or anybody doing anything, coming to make appointments or seeing the house. The realtor, it was crickets from her. And that's when I turned to feng shui. I looked at my house with feng shui eyes, and like I said, crickets. What does crickets mean? It's like it's still. There's nothing. And I realized when I looked at the house, it was perfectly still, like dead still. And that's when I went, you know what? I think this house needs a heartbeat. Like, it needs some movement. And I bought a pendulum clock, hung it up on the wall. I kid you not, that afternoon I got a call from the realtor, and she had 4 showings, and in 2 days we had 2 offers, and I was on my way to meet my husband. So that was what started my feng shui career, and what got me really loving feng shui, because I found that I could have these situations in life, and I could sort of move them, nudge them energetically to go the way I wanted them to go. I could get, or just sometimes you just want to get off square one, right? You're just like, okay, anywhere but here. At some point you're like, this has got to change. And this is when I really got more serious about feng shui, and I went to Kuala Lumpur, did some training with Lillian too, and I learned a lot more in-depth information, a lot more detail, and started going to the International Feng Shui Society meetings in Singapore and learning more and more stuff. But I still think about, a good friend of mine that I met at Lillian Tu's course had stayed in touch with me once we had moved, or I had come back to Texas, and after my training, and I remember thinking I want to keep in touch with her, and so she and I corresponded for quite a few years, and she lived in Bahrain, and she's a super, super wonderful lady. I loved her so much. Her name was Ratna, and she and I would share information and techniques and tips on feng shui. And one of the things that she shared with me was this tip that I'm going to be talking with you today. This is going to be a really long episode. It's going to be actually quite short, and I won't have any tips for you at the end of this particular episode, because really the whole episode is a tip. And it really is a 5-minute thing that you can do. But I'm going to be talking about, I want to give you a little history about how I came across this, how I learned about it, because I love to hear the provenance of things. Now, my friend Ratna in Bahrain, she actually owned a feng shui store. I don't know if she still does or not. We've kind of lost touch with each other over the last 20 years. But one of the things that she shared with me was this technique for creating a movement for something that you want, a wish that you have. And I love it because, like I said, a lot of us have a wish for something. There's something that we want to happen. There's something that where we want to go or see or do or be. And this can help you make that happen. So it's called a grant your wish technique. And Ratna shared this with me and gave me the information about it and showed me how to do it. And I tried it. And sure enough, it worked. I had followed the instructions she sent to me. And so I started to share that with other people. I have a private Facebook group, and they're part of my forecast. So each year, if you buy the top end of the forecast, you get to join my private Facebook group, and we talk about feng shui. I do live Q&As and answer their questions, that kind of thing. And so many people in there are rave to me about this technique and how it has helped them on so many things. And this is something that I am passing on with love to you, because I know at one time or another, we all want something to happen. We all want something good in our lives to occur. And I want to share with you this wonderful technique that has worked for so many of my insiders. I call them insiders, feng shui insiders, and has helped me personally, and I believe can help you too. So this is called the grant your wish technique. And when you're working toward a goal, like to sell your house or maybe finalize divorce, like I said earlier, or attract new love, you don't have to wait. When you have a sincere desire, you want to find a way to bring that desire to fruition faster, right? So this technique, as I said, was shared with me, and it's been proven to be a very valuable way that I have helped clients and readers and subscribers and my insiders improve their odds of success. I have gotten so many testimonials about the grant your wish technique. And if you use it, I'd love to hear from you. So if you use this technique, I'm going to share with you how to do it. If you use it and you find that what you want to happen happens after you've got this set up, then drop me a note. I'd love to hear what you used it for, how it worked, and when it happened. So let's talk about this. Now, this technique is perfect for using for anything that you want to manifest. So what is important to understand is that they're really super simple instructions, but and I'm going to go through those step by step. So this is what you're going to need to do your grant your wish technique. You're going to need some products. The first thing is you need a red folder. Now this can be just something that you get at Office Max or your local office store. And I like to get a really pretty red glossy one. I used to actually sell these as kits, and I tell you, they flew off the shelves. But I don't sell them anymore. I don't do products any longer. But anyhow, I will get a really pretty glossy bright red folder, and it just needs to have pockets on the inside, or it could just be like a regular file folder. So if you don't want to get fancy, that's fine. The other thing that you're going to need are 2 bamboo flutes. They're called Chinese flutes, and you can get those online at Amazon or at your favorite feng shui place. Many of them have these flutes. They're actual bamboo. They're hollow bamboo flutes, and that's what you're looking for, the hollow bamboo flutes. Sometimes people use them to counteract beams, or they use them for other feng shui applications, but they're not really hard to find. Look online. I think there's a place called feng shui-import.com. They always have them. They're not very expensive, but you can find them just about anywhere online, anywhere that sells feng shui things. And then you're going to need a length of green and black ribbon. I like, you can use satin, grosgrain ribbon, it doesn't matter, but I would get a piece about 18 to 24 inches long of black and green. Now, when I say green, I mean Kelly green, like the green of a pretty spring leaf, not that chartreuse yellow green, not that deep forest green, but a Kelly green leaf color. You also want to have solid black ribbon. So don't get anything with any kind of print on it. You just want I always buy either satin or grosgrain ribbon, Kelly green and black, 24 inches long, and that'll be plenty. Now what we want to do is use this at our front door. So what we're going to do is, if you, let's say for instance you want to sell your house, you're going to take all of like your listing papers that you have from your realtor. Maybe you have a sales flyer out in the box. Like sometimes they have sales flyers in front of your home when you're trying to sell it. You get one of those and put it inside that red folder. Now with the red folder, you're going to take the two flutes and you're going to wrap them. You're going to tie one end with the two pieces of ribbon, and then you're going to braid them. Just wrap the ribbon around the two flutes, and then tie it until you run out of ribbon, and then tie it up at the top. So you're going to I usually will tie them at the bottom and then kind of crisscross those ribbons across the two flutes, and then tie them together up at the top. And you're going to look for a small table. It could be like a bench. It could be anything really, just a small table. And what you want to do is, on this small table, you're going to place it. You're going to stand at your front door, and to the right of your front door, you're going to put that little table. And this is where you're going to put your red folder with your house sale papers in it, or maybe your divorce papers, or your resume if you're looking for a new job. And then you're going to put the two flutes on top of the red folder. Now this has to be to the right of your front door, as you're looking on the inside at your front door, like you're ready to go walk outside. You're looking at your door. Now, don't distress if you have a wall there, or there's no space for a table. You can get a hanging wall pocket, or a basket or something, and put it on the wall next to the door, and put your folder there with the flutes, and that will work just fine. But what's important is that it is at the right side of the door, and this will make a difference for you. So let's talk about some of the ways that you would use this. So as I mentioned, this is a perfect technique to use if you're looking for a job. You're going to place your resume or your CV in there. Maybe you have a job announcement that you have that you really are interested about. Put that in your red folder. Now, I do believe let me talk about other ways that you can use it. Let's say you're looking for a visa to go to another country or something. Put a copy of your passport or your travel papers or applications inside of the red folder. If your divorce isn't coming through, you can place any of your papers for that, and write your wish for what you would like to happen, and place that in the red folder. If you're facing legal problems, you can place those papers in the red folder. If you're facing bankruptcy, anything that you're dealing with, like that you're having problems with, any legal documents that you have to put in there, you can put those in the red folder and have that on the table with your bamboo. Maybe you have too many bills to pay and you need a promotion at work. Write out the promotion, the job promotion you want, and what you want to have. Maybe you want to sell your house. You would put, like I said, all of those house papers in that red folder. You can also, to attract someone, like bring somebody back to you, you can put your love letters inside of them, a picture inside of that loved one who's gone inside your red folder, and have that placed there next to the door. You can put a book or a business proposal, a manuscript, school papers, college applications, anything could go in that red folder. Now, once you have that folder with your documents, then it's so important you just put those flutes right on top of it and put that on that table, and make sure that it's on the right as you are looking standing at your front door. That's where you want to put it. So just you want to make sure it's not as you're standing at the front door on your porch looking in your house and on the right. It's on the right as you stand inside your house looking at your front door. It's ahead of you. That's where the table goes, on the right. This is something that I have seen work, and make things happen over and over and over again. Even if you just have a simple wish, you don't have any papers, maybe you just have a wish for something. It's called Grant Your Wish technique. And I'm here to tell you, it is amazing how often this happens. What you want to do, though, is you really want to focus your attention. Some people want to put 4 or 5 or 6 different things. And my feeling is I'm a big believer in the power of one. That means you focus on one thing, whatever that one thing is that's standing in the way of your happiness. So for me, when I first learned about feng shui, the thing that I wanted to do was move. So that means I had to get that house sold. So I focused solely on that. So that's what I want to impress upon you is the power of one. What a difference it can make in your life. You can really focus on the one thing that's standing in the way of your happiness. So maybe that is getting that divorce, or maybe it is attracting someone new. Maybe you have you've met somebody maybe online. You could print off their profile, put that in the Grant Your Wish if you want to see things happen. You can write out the idea you have of the perfect mate for you. Write that out and state your intention that I wish to meet a new love, attract a new love to my life who is funny and lighthearted, that kind of thing. Write out whatever your wish is. So if you don't have papers, just write your wish out. So there you have it. This is the Grant Your Wish technique. It's a great way to make something happen in your life. I'd love to know if you have a wish and you use it. Let me know how it works for you. Like I said, these are really some simple ingredients, simple things that you can buy just about anywhere. You can, even if you found just some simple bamboo flutes, you can look for those. They don't have to be special feng shui flutes. Just look for a reed flute, a bamboo flute. Some people will I've even used hollow pieces of bamboo before. That's really the trick, is that you want to have hollow pieces of bamboo. That's the point of the flutes, is that air moves through them and it channels energy through it. This is one of the ideas behind wind chimes and flutes, is that energy flows through it. And the energy of your wish, that energy that brings that to fruition, is what we want to flow through it. And we're going to concentrate on one major thing, one at a time, and give it a couple of weeks, even up to a month. Sometimes it might be 6 weeks, but just hang in there with it and keep it there for as long as it takes. But most of the time, I find, unless it's something that's not working in your favor. So let's say sometimes what we want isn't always what destiny wants to deliver to us, and that's a real possibility that it's just not our karma, for something. But most of the time, I find when your wish is true and the intention is positive and it's for the benefit of all, I find that this works rather fast and usually within just a couple of weeks. So do your part on other parts of feng shui as well, and so if you've got other things that you can be doing, like personal things you can be doing, like applying at different companies, that sort of thing, you want to do that. You don't want to just say, hey, I've got this thing here by the door in the red folder and I'm going to let it do all the heavy lifting. While I think it's a really magical and wonderful thing, and actually kind of I do avoid saying magic in feng shui, but this really is something that sometimes I find is simply magical, and people, my insiders on my Facebook page, love it. So I've heard so many great things about it, and always someone's talking about their wish and how it came true. So let me know if it comes true for you. Thank you so much for listening today to 5 Minute Feng Shui. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to 5 Minute Feng Shui today. Feeling stuck in your life? If you're tired of the slow lane and you want to start making changes in your life today, head over to redlotusletter.com to sign up for my free 4-week e-course, 28 Days to Prosperity. You'll get daily lessons on how to get unstuck and create financial flow in your life. So go ahead, what are you waiting for? Sign up.